When I call Jesus' name. Slow, steady. All right. Good morning. Good morning. So this morning, looking at the scans, and I really wanted to go over some stuff that I've been thinking about the markets. First thing is I'm liking these banks continuing to come down. I do have a focus point that I'm really trying to keep an eye on though. Today we see FRC did reach that $12 mark, and that $12 mark that's what I was talking about on Friday of last week. I thought it was going to be going back to the 12s. Looking at the daily chart, just seeing where it fell to the first time, it needed to retest this right around $12 level. I don't know if it has another leg down or what from this 12, but it's definitely just holding on by the strings or the hairs of the market. And so we'll see if it can go ahead and completely break down 12 and kind of take its next leg down. The other things that I've been looking at is the different well-known banks that have been falling. That's what I'm looking at too. I want to keep those on my watch. So a couple of them, Bank of America, has been very interesting as it continues down, only $26 right now. If we look back a little bit, it was up to 38, and actually if we look back at the yearly chart on Bank of America, this thing was up to 50 bucks at one time, right? And now all the way down, and it had a couple of gaps back here. Let me see. Had a couple of gaps back here during 2021, gap ups, and all at the international banks that are coming down low. And just focusing in on those. Anyway, the other stock that we were watching yesterday was GBIO. They got an investment from Moderna, and they got a cash advance and an investment from Moderna. And so I wanted to see what that stock was going to end up doing. So yeah, just watching it all right now. Slew. Right now, GBIO holding right under that $5 level. I want to see what kind of action it gets here on Friday morning. Definitely watching it. It's got pretty much the best news on the week, other than the whole banking thing. But we'll see what it wants to do. If it wants to maybe give a little bit of a dip out of the open, so I can see what it wants to do. But it is a higher float, so it's definitely going to be chopping around. Not looking to be buying breakouts or anything. It's going to be a buy to hold. Douche Bank also came down as well this morning. It is leading the way in volume. DB. And actually, one of the questions that let me get my, there we go. one of the questions that I was asking myself this morning is how many customers do each of these banks that is falling actually service, right? How many assets are they actually doing circulating through their business? And I came over here to the first one that we see today, which is Douche Bank. It's a Californian bank out there. Or was this the California or the Florida one? One of them. Anyway, they the number of private and business clients amounted to approximately 27.47 million in that year. This was something that came from 2016 or whatever. This number has steadily been falling. So they've been falling in clients since 2010. That I didn't like about Douche Bank, right? First Republic was another one. It's like, do I really want to mess with these Californian banking stock or banking companies at all? So leaving First Republic. First Republic said through the organic growth of, come on, it is the 14th largest. We're not going to read the whole history. I might go back here. 14th largest U.S. bank with enterprise value greater than 19 billion. This represents a record growth in total enterprise value, whatever. But we know it's been plummeting. The next one that I asked about was Charles Schwab. They have 32.9 million clients, users, individual client assets. And they have total client assets of 7.13 trillion. Now that's some money. And that's why I'm interested in investing in Charles Schwab at some point. Next one, Bank of America is another one I've been watching. How many clients do they have? 67 million. Bank of America, blah, 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 serves 67 million. Square Bank has been another one I've been watching. 210 million buyer profiles and client profiles. And the last one was that Pac West that we've been seeing, PACW. Not too interesting. Not a very international bank. It's just one of the Californian banks. So Californian banks that's been falling. So I really am not too interested in that. But for the most part, those that I named that I really liked was Bank of America, Square, and Charles Schwab. And if we look out here on their daily charts, we can see Bank of America taking some nice dips down, nice dips down on its daily chart, and it's hit the first kind of obvious consolidation right here around the $30 level. But I'm not convinced that this one's going to stop here at 25. So I want to see a hold in this level to do any kind of buying. And I'm not trying to buy big sizes. I'm buying and I'm accumulating in each of these obvious whatever consolidations that it reaches. Same thing with Charles Schwab. It's been on a trend up. Came up here, let's see, all the way to almost $100, and then had this recent fall down to 60, came back up to 83, and now with this banking crisis, fell down to the lows of 44. And I was like, oh, wow, it fell down to the lows of 44, and it came up here and it consolidated. But with this momentum, this momentum that it showed us during this breakdown, I want to see it kind of challenge or hold the 50s. Now, I am willing to buy some shares at 50. Anything under 50 is on Charles Schwab is crazy. So I'm willing to buy there, but again, using small size. And then Square had went up to $271, fell all the way down here to 60, and it is in a obvious consolidation level down here in that $60 range. But again, taking small size, want to see if it's going to break down any more around these 50s. And again, I like the 50s. I'll take a little bit in the 50s for maybe a possible resurgence in the future. But yeah, those are the banking plays that I've been watching. And also the GBIO. this morning. GBIO received an investment and a upfront cash payment from Moderna for the research that they're doing. And so I wanted to keep an eye on that one as well. Let me jump back over here to the scans. So not seeing any huge gappers on the scans today over $2, and not really seeing any under $2 either. Just watching and waiting, really. Yep, lame scan again. Every single morning it gets us. Let's see. I want to delete something. Okay, here we go. All right, so we got about 15 minutes to the bell. And all of these banking stocks, I really don't need them up here anymore. I really wasn't looking to trade them. But at least we know what the competition on the day is for anything that does want to play ball today. But I definitely want to keep an eye on GBIO. Let's jump back over here to the scans and see what kind of movement, what kind of things hold green or go red or whatever out of the open. Can we get any of those low buys? Good morning, Lori Lee. Can we get any of those low buys on this Friday? Or if something does dip, is it even going to come up? I mean, at this point, the highest volume movers are below $2, sub $2. And then everything above $2, we're only seeing 5 million shares. So a lot of the action is down in those sub twos. And we'll see them pop up when market opens. This one will search for the gappers down there. Only reason I really don't care about seeing them until market open is because I'm probably not going to trade below sub $2 anyway. Sub $2 just does not fit well with day trading. It may fit well with swinging or longer term investments in an idea that you believe in, but day trading, the chop factor is just real. I've saved so much money staying out of the sub $2, it doesn't even make sense. That's gonna probably make me richer than trading it. Just staying out of it. Anyway, let's see. Yep, Donnell, he went for a swing on GBIO yesterday. I didn't know if it was gonna break out, but then at the very end of the day, it jumped over 5 and got a whole bunch of buying pressure up there, all the way to the 523s. And I was like, well, looks like Donnell's gonna be rich. It's going to the moon, but it wasn't ready yet to go. Has a great catalyst. Moderna is backing them, gave them a cash advance. Actually, let me go look at the news again. GBIO. GBIO. Okay. So, yesterday was when the news popped. Moderna and Generation Bio announced collaboration to develop a non-viral genetic medicines. Generation Bio received a $40 million upfront cash payment and then a prepayment of research funding plus $36 million equity investment from Moderna. And let's see what they actually been working on back here. This is last year. Let's see. There's their earnings and all of that. Generation Bio shares, Moderna, blah, blah, blah. Looking for, let me go to the website there. I hope it does come down. I hope it comes down and test this 425 level. That's what I've been looking for, 450 to 425s. And then use this this $4 as an out back down there. Donnell said GBIO is trash. We'll see. We'll see. You know, like I said, I'm taking small size, not looking for any rips. I'm entering it just like I'm gonna do the banking stocks, very small, you know, with very small risk. Because what I'm looking at is right here on this gap fill here. This gap fill was from what, 13, and then, well, 13 right there, 13.78, almost 14, and then the open of the gap is $10, right? And so right now, the low of the year, or the low, that the all-time lows, is 340, and it's at $5 right now. I want to try to use this as my line in the sand, this 340, or as close as I can get to $4 as possible, and then just let it play. You know, let it play. It's only $5. Want to see it try to get up here to these this gap fill level, especially if more news comes out. I want to be in before the news comes out. But with this being a Friday, and we know these are sell-off days, I want to see how it holds today, and then look for next week for any kind of continued holding above the $4 is what I'm looking for. Because right now, GBIO, I'll just be risking $1. Because if it goes under 4, I just sell. You know, but I want to be risking that dollar as close to the risk factor, or the average price, as possible. So I'm willing to let it play. Willing to let it play above 4. And yesterday it actually got 10 million shares in trading, which it hasn't got in a while since it's been trading. So that Moderna news definitely sparked something. But I don't know, like with this being a higher float, I don't know how much time people or big companies need to accumulate this thing. I don't think it's just going to rip. I think it's going to take its time and make a move. Which is why I'm like, okay, if y'all gonna take y'all's time, I'm gonna take my time too and wait. Wait for the levels that I like. All right, 10 minutes till the bell. Right now, our top movers, or top top movers above $2, ATV only up 6%. That is impressive. I guess we'll have to watch some sub $2 stocks then, because I know for a fact they're getting some volume. And if they want to get so active and come up on the come up above $2, hey, might be some opportunity there for a day trade with something that has some range. But from what I saw some that were like 20 cents, so they are well away from even a dollar. Also, I keep seeing the oil prices come on back down. They came back up to like the 70s for a little bit, 71, testing that 70 level, and I'm looking for a continued breakdown. This previous little dip here that it dipped into twice back here on the in 2022 is the area that it's in right now. I want to see it break down, and I want to get a little bit of some of the oil stocks before the end of summer probably, and look for some recouping into the winter, into the colder months later on this year. But yeah, that's in the future though, for to collect those. Okay. And also the spy. Let's see what Mr. Spy is doing out here. Let's see what the actual NDAC is doing. NASDAQ up to 70 came down. Now, if if you don't have a futures, you can always come over here and trade the NDAC, which is the NASDAQ. It's not the composite, but it's the NASDAQ ticker itself, which is 52 bucks right now. Has been riding up to 71, came down to the 40s, came back up to test the 70s, and then back down. Okay. It's crazy. While I'm talking, time goes by so quick. But if I'm sitting here just trading and not talking or not streaming, it's like time takes forever. Like I'm like, bro, I know it's been 5 minutes, 5 minutes ago. All right. Let me go out here to my watch. So these are all the ideas that I have for watches. I was watching the crypto banking stocks, which SI went all the way down to $1. So I'm so glad Lori ended up selling that, man. She had that thing at $2. That would have been down a whole dollar on SI. Detection of coronary heart disease, that was CDIO, still in some consolidation here on the yearly or daily chart. Consolidation above the 4. Looking for approval for the phosphate pill that ended up dumping UNC sub $2. Palantir still in consolidation as well. May look to try to test that 850 in the future. They had a $100 million deal with the U.S. State Department to modernize the data management. Not huge news, but it was good news for them and where they were. Crypto sentiment movers, we got BKKT, sub $2. We got CLSK. We got Mara. And we have Riots. And then I had SI in there, which is absolute trash. AMBI. Now, these were some that were gapping up on a day. And I didn't know why they were up. So I was just trying to watch them. But as of now, they just look like trash. So I didn't know why they were up. So I put them in there. So let me go ahead and I'll leave those in there. It doesn't matter. We already looked at the banking stocks. FMNM. Like I said, I'm focused on those more well-known international banks that are dipping. And all of those international banks, all these pay dividends. That's what I like about them. If I buy them, at least I'll get something on the way. I'm not really looking for them to rip. And then oil stock, one of my oil stocks that I always watch is INDO, but that'll be closer to the end of summertime when I'm looking to do anything with that one. It's just holding right under the fives, and it could hold a couple of months. So I'm not really looking to put capital in there and hold that because it's not paying any dividends. It's not doing any work during those months. So why hold it is my question. And it's a low float, so no point. No point to me. DRMA, yeah, that's one of the ones I saw. It's gonna pop up here. It's gonna pop up on the scans when markets open, but it's sub 2. So it's gonna have to do something amazing, right? We got less than 3 minutes to the bell. The countdown, the final countdown. And kind of like last Friday, I don't know, like last Friday was kind of dead too. And it was like one of those that had a lot of tempting stocks, but they were doing a lot of chop, 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 chop. So, it may be like that again. We'll see. But with banking stocks not being at the top of the list, and it's like sub penny stocks, I mean, sub $2 stocks, that's kind of, you know, giving some leeway for some other markets to maybe reemerge with the banking stocks not getting that much volume. I mean, FRC for the past, 5, 6, 7 days has had over, 50 million shares a day, like average. And today it's only got 4 million coming out of pre-market, you know. So it may be some time for something else to emerge today. Emerging markets. All right, we have less than a minute. We're gonna see what pops on these scans. Do a little research, because of course, and the other thing is with these scans, one of the reasons that I like the stuff to pop up after the open is because I know I'm going to be waiting an hour anyway. I like to let that first hour play out to see what these stocks want to do so I don't get tricked up. But in that first hour, I can do a lot of research, especially on, like those, why is these things moving? Does it even have a reasoning? Is it a low float? Answer all of my variable questions before I try to take a trade on it. And here are the questions that I asked. Analysis questions. Is it a low float? How many outstanding shares are there? Is it a top 10 mover? Is it something that can compete on the day? Does it have a catalyst? If it's yes, then there'll be a little bit more confidence behind the trade. Is the retracement worth the risk? Let me see. Pre-trade variables, and this is what I'm looking at. Pre-trade variables. What is the competition on the day? And has the competition doubled or tripled its volume? Are the shorts strongly winning during intraday? And is their momentum showing signs of weakness? Are there any large areas of level 2 support or resistance? Okay, so let's jump out and see what's going on. GBIO, giving a little pump up there. That's great. All right, so let's jump back over here to the scans, and we'll go ahead and scan for. Looks like we're gonna have to scan for sub $2. DRMA coming over $2 as well. 5 million shares, so we'll go ahead and slap that up there. DRMA. I thought you said this was a high float. You said it's 500K. 500. It's not 500, is it? It's showing on TOS. It's showing 855. It's a low float. Or let me go and look at the website. Maybe it's wrong. DRMA statistics. Float is, yeah, okay, it's under. It's 500. That makes no sense. Why does it have these discrepancies? That's not a huge discrepancy though. On TOS it's saying 8, so 5 to 8 isn't huge. Let me go and look at DRMA over here on. Does it have any shelves? Not seeing any shelves. Float, shares float just a little bit. Oh, what? Who's holding the most majority of this shares? We got insiders holding 29% and institutions holding 2.14. So it could get very volatile. All right, let's go to DRMA. So insiders holding 43% reported over here on the short squeeze, and then institutions holding 10%. Okay, so let's go and see the reasoning behind the move. DRMA top, it's at the top now of the above $2 movers. Looking at the daily chart here, had a pop up from 24 cents up here to $3, came back down to here to $1.25, and now we can see that it has a history of giving back. We can see that huge pop up and then a long-term descent, and then within this long-term descent we see big pops from what, 480 back down here to the 294, so losing $2 rip down. So this is one that you're just going to have to take profit on. This isn't a holder. This is something that will take its money back. All right, so looking back on the 2-hour chart, we had a previous high here of 245 that is pushing up to resistance. 245, and then we had another level of resistance right here under the $3. Okay, anything else that's kind of sticking out obvious? Not really. Okay, so it has 8 million shares traded so far. We'll see if any challengers come back into play for it. Okay. Then the only other two that are up there is TRKA, little penny stock up 30%, and then BRDS up 20 or 40%. But these are very cheap stocks, had some little gap ups. Let me see if they had any kind of news behind them, or are they just popping. Here in therapeutics, no news on BRDS. No current news on TRKA. Just kind of popping. So we know that the market is thirsty for trades. Thirsty for trades now, because there's no reasoning. Let me go and look at DRMA one more time. Nothing. So yeah, the market is thirsty for trades today. GBIO, yes sir. Come on down, baby. Throw it all down. Let's go. 238,000 shares right now traded. Yes, sir. Looking for it to get back to the 450 to the 425s. Looking for that hold of the $4. Everything else on the scan except for ATVI is looking pretty red. Let's look at the market watch. Yep, a lot of red on the market watch. Way more than green. And there's no reasoning in the current stocks that we see up. Which probably is an indicator that they're being heavily manipulated with no reasoning. But we're gonna let this let a little bit of time play out. The first candle on DRMA moved from 206 up to the 240, so a 40-cent move. If it starts to chop down even more, you know, it could become a little bit more risky as these bars start to get skinnier. This first candle though was 6 million shares traded in that one. Let me see, BRDS had 13 million shares traded in that one. TRKA what was this one? 18 million shares traded in it. So a lot of people playing these tickers that have no reasoning. So we'll see how the tickers with no reasoning treat them. And if GBIO wants to go red, it's red on both the from pre-market and in the open. So as long as it's red, I'm just going to leave that alone and let it do its thing down to the downside. And $5 has held as resistance for a day. So maybe it'll have to retest the 5 or something. But for right now, I know for a fact $5 was a problem for it. DRMA still holding 13% still since the open. BRDS looking like it's trying to go red. Big snap down on BRDS. So we'll see if we can see that same motion in DRMA here soon. TRKA still holding up the green. So let's see if each of them goes red in some type of order. We'll see. Will it get a large snap down? And also DRMA is running into the previous level body candles of this these days back here. What was this? March 21st. March 21st hit a high of the 240. So we'll see if it gets harsh rejection at this level, or will it be able to slip through those 240s up to 250. Okay, 230s. Yep, a little bit of resistance there. BRDS trying to hold green with all its might. So just a struggle bus in these stocks. Banking stocks are starting to catch up with DRMA though. DB, Tesla, and FRC right behind DRMA, trying to knock it down the list. So we'll see if DRMA loses to those banking stocks. I'm not touching DRMA. And you can look over here on my scans of what I'm looking at. DRMA has the top position right now with 13 million up there. Well, it's behind the penny stocks, but these penny stocks are just, you know, sucking people in anyway. So that's why they got so much volume, and they're cheap. So that just makes sense. But Tesla's right behind it. DB, FRC, Bank of America, all of these banks just easing up the list. So if DRMA, it can easily give up its winning position right now. VWAP on DRMA is the 230s. Let me slap Tesla out here so I could just see it over here. Slap DB out here. And FRC and Bank of America. I think that's all I'm going to do. Yep. All right, so the first two, those penny stocks, going under, going red on the day, dipping on down there, still with high volume, but I'm expecting the same type of movement on DRMA. No reasoning. It's not going to have that push through those breakouts. Now, they may let it slip through the breakout, but to close a candle, to close the price action above those breakout levels, like, what's the reasoning? Why would somebody hold through a breakout level on this one? And right now, the 240s is looking like the spot where it could slip through. Has a wick up here to the 266 on the 4-hour chart. A little bit of resistance there. And then has a little bit of resistance here at the 340s as well. But my big thing is, okay, if it does slip through, what reasoning does someone have to continue holding? And that's why I'm like, look, if you can take profit on it, great. But it's got a reputation or a pattern of giving back. We look back over here on TOS one more time. These were the last two givebacks. 480 down to 291, and then it had another rip here from 340 down here to 150. So, you know, not great. DRMA showing some red here. It did find a little bit of resistance at that 240. Finding some big shorts jumping on board. Yep, 290s, 230s, coming on down. Yeah, it's probably about to lose its position to Tesla. Tesla's going to be the #1 mover above $2 here in a second. With 12 million shares, it is 3 million shares away from DRMA. So if DRMA loses volume, it's going to fall off real quick. Does anybody want to buy this dip is the question. And I like, for big money, I don't really see why they'll be putting big money on this one. If we look out here on the level 2s, the bid and the ask, Look for any interesting standout numbers. Right now, all of them are under 10 million. So are there any? There's something at 180, 143,000 right there on the books. That may be a spoofed number. That may be a false number right there. I don't know. But 180 is all the way down here. So it's going to be very hard for them to get knocked around. But that's definitely a big number sitting out there on the 180. And then let's look on the ask as well. And let me spread this out just a little bit. We have a 20,000 there at the 20,000 there. Let me give them some more space so I can fit some more stuff here. Okay. 20,000, yeah. So 20,000 at the $3. Much smaller position. But 180 is definitely a crazy amount of shares down there, especially if that's like some shorts or something, or if that's the market maker just sitting on the books. But I don't see any size like that on the ask. Good morning, GD in the building. We're watching these stocks, and DRMA, I don't know if anybody's shorting, or if, I don't even know if DRMA is a shortable stock here. Let me look. Oh, DRM. Shortable, yes it is shortable. Short squeeze. Yep. So it's gonna be some nice money for some shorts today. I bet with it having no reasoning, I bet if it comes down to this, where is it? 180. If it comes down to this, I bet this number right here is just gonna disappear. They're just gonna take it off the books. They're like, oh, never mind. But the market flows to where the demand is, or where the buyers, where the trading wants to be. That's where it flows to. So, you know, if people are still willing to buy, it'll continue higher. If people are willing to sell, it's definitely going to drop. But now it's struggling to even do 10 cents back up to the 240 and get through that 240. And the VWAP is at 231, and it continues to bounce on VWAP. I'm thinking we're going to see a breakdown. It may hold for a little bit, but I'm thinking we're going to see a breakdown. If the most that you can get is 240, you know, that's like what, a 6-cent winner? Maybe. I don't know if it's worth it. 6 cents. BRDS, gee whiz. I looked away for just a little bit. It's down 11%, has dropped all the way back down to 16 cents. That one is dead to me. Dead. And then this other one, TRKA, same deal. Dead. No reasoning. So will we see that type of move here on whatchamacallit? Here on DRMA. We've seen these no thought process tickers drop through the floor. What's gonna happen? It's got 17 million. Tesla has 15 million. I almost caught up to it. 2 million. It's staying behind 2 million. But will people continue the interest if it breaks down VWAP is the question. VWAP continues to hold at 231. Then GBIO there. Let's see. 487. I want to see you continue down, buddy. Okay, on the tape, we're seeing a bunch of 33s, 34s come through. Like I said, this is a very high risk play, high risk, low reward percentage. Definitely if you're looking for actual breakouts, this is not the one. Well, if you're a short, maybe you could do breakouts. Yeah. Let's see the volume. Look at this change in volume. The first candle had 10 million shares, and now it's kind of barely getting 2 million. So a huge drop in the shares traded here. This candle is going to be closing up in 8 minutes, and now it's starting to crack VWAP. Let's see if fear ensues now. Will people be willing to sell? Wow, it bounced right off of the 231s back up there to 237s. So I'm guessing as long as it holds VWAP, retail is going to be willing to play it. But I mean, the most you can look for is what, like 6 cents, 6 to 8 cents, maybe. And that's at best. If we look at the movements during pre or after market into pre-market, let's see some of the best bar or the best candles that it formed. 160 up to the 187, that's 20 cents. Not great. It had a red candle here, 230s down to the 189s. So about a 40-cent drop right there. So 20 cents back here, 40 cents downwards, and then out of the open, a 40-cent rip back up. So I guess it at least it allowed the bag holders to get out. Anybody that bought high up here at the 228s. So there was mercy in the market. But yeah, this is quite amazing that it's getting all of these folks in here to crash on them. I'm thinking it'll be back to $2 very quickly though. FRC doing exactly what I thought it was going to do. Came down here to this 12, just sitting around a 12. I want to see it start its next leg down though. Break down 12, get on down under 10. Now I'm not looking to trade this one. I'm actually interested in some of the larger name banks that are down, like Bank of America, Square, and Charles Schwab are my top watches for a long-term investment. And I did set up my other accounts as well. So I got a day trading account. I have a dividend, non-dividend, and a swing trade account. And with those banking stocks, they'll be going into my dividend account and, you know, paying me some money while I wait. This is crazy how long this thing is held up here, though. I guess I'm saying that because I'm sitting here watching it, but if I wasn't watching it, it'd be like, oh, that hasn't been that long. You know, it's only been what, the first 5 minutes or first not even 30 minutes of the market open. We got 5 minutes until this 30-minute candle closes. And all we need is a breakdown of the 231s. It's only 4 cents away from that. It is still green on the 4-hour and the hour chart though. But what is that transition going to look like? Is it going to do a big dump like we saw on those sub pennies? Let's see if that size is still at the 180. Still down there at the 180, 143 sitting on the books. And it looks like a hidden order right before that 181 as well. I mean, not 181, $1.81. So I'm guessing shorts will be very interested at the break of this 190 level. going to the downside. And let's see, how far can it go though? From 190 down here to maybe the consolidation of 132s. That's a 60-cent winner right there for the shorts. So I guess that would be a obvious place to get in for some movement downwards. You're not buying the highs, but also, you're getting a nice little piece into that 180 break. But it keeps popping back up. What in the world, bro? It just needs to give up. Oh, Tesla's catching up with it. Tesla's about to pass it in volume here. Catching up very quickly. False breakout there of the 240s. Very quick, hit that, and shorts already had their orders up there to get in there. Let's see if they can let some more shorts in. Or maybe not. Tesla right on its heels. Look at what Tesla's doing over here. Tesla getting a pull back up. Went down here to the 190 level. Tested that, or is at the 190 level. Tested a little bit below it at the 188s, but is picking up those eyes. People are interested in these pops back up because this was what, a $2 pop up on the 4-hour from the 180s up to the 190s, $2 pop up. So definitely giving more range than drama. I'm just going to call them drama because that's what they look like. DRMA, drama. And that's what you need to make money on the day is range and volume. GBIO just continue down, buddy. All right, 231 getting tested again. Will it actually do a break now that they've had the false break up to the 250s? Tapped it. Let me see. Hit up to the 249 and rejected off of 250. Back at VWAP that quick. Let's get it going down. 20 million shares traded on it. 31s continue to try to hold on for dear life. There's the break of the 31, small break. There we go. 225s. Let's get it. You said DRMA is a bear trap? Bull trap? I don't think it's a I think it's being pumped by some type of trading community because it has no news. It has no reasoning, just like the other stocks that we saw go down today. It's just like, why are you even up? How are you even up? I mean, Tesla being red on the day looks better than DRMA. But let's see if it can flood down like those other two stocks we saw. Who wants to buy the dip on something that has no reasoning? Nobody. Well, somebody that's just trading it based on the volume and the gap, but nobody that knows the whole story. So let's see this thing dump below 225s here and see if that 180 can come into play. Let's see, where's that 180? That size is still sitting there at the 180s. 180 is all the way down here. Trapping bulls and bears. Yeah, they trapping. I don't know how unsafe the bears are though. I think if I was a bear on this one, I would feel very safe because I highly doubt it's gonna reach back up here to 250. Highly doubt. Like, if anything, that would be a secondary entry. If it came back up to 250, I'd be throwing a couple more million in there. I'd be short and just throwing them down. you know. But yeah, that's that 220 breakdown. Okay, so Tesla is probably going to become our top mover on the day, volume mover. And then right behind it is Bank of America with 15 million, and then DB and FRC. GBIO, man, this thing needs to go on down and stop playing. Keeps trying to come back over the fives, but it's still red on both. So I'm not really interested. I'm really more interested in things that are holding green on the day. And ATVI was something that was holding green on the day, but is losing the competition when it comes to the eyes. Are people looking at it? It is going up though. It jumped from what 79 up here to the 85s with a little bit low volume. Let me see what the news was on ATVI. Activision Blizzard. This is the video gaming company. Shares of several companies. Activation Blizzard share. Let me pull this up so we can read it together. Activation Blizzard shares are trading higher after the UK CMA provisionally concluded the anticipated acquisition by Microsoft. Activision Blizzard will not result in substantial lessening of competition in relation to console gaming in the UK. Okay. Activision stock rises, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, not any killer news. It's green on the day, but not killer news. It'll probably grind or something, but only 8 million shares. I think the float on this one is probably massive, being Activision. Yeah, 725.24 million. Institutional holdings, 84% institution. So that bad boy is going to be a chop factory. All right, Tesla is about to surpass DRMA. Let's see if they can get it. Only 200,000 shares needed to surpass it. It's been on its heels all morning. It has finally started to clamp down. So if Tesla becomes the top volume where the most people are looking, that's where traders are going to go. They're going to be like, DRMA, why is that thing even moving? It doesn't even have any range. I could buy 2 shares of Tesla and make $4 on a $2 rip. You know? So yeah, Tesla also has what looks like a little bit of a bottom here. Tested this 189 during yesterday's low, and then 189 again. So the question is it going to go for the breakdown of the 188s, or will it bounce from this area? It's kind of a 50-50 play, but you know, Tesla has just surpassed DRMA in volume finally. Been on its heels all morning. So DRMA, I'm expecting to continue to fall through the ranks now. And the question that I ask myself when I'm looking at these stocks is the big question is, okay, what is the competition on the day? And it has the competition doubled or tripled the volume of a particular ticker. And we're going to see, I'm pretty sure Tesla's going to definitely double whatever drama puts out today. DB America. Good. GBIO coming on down. Want to see it break down that 470 level. And I will definitely be watching it into next week. Love the way it's holding above the 4 is all I need. But I needed to get closer to the 4 for better prices. I mean, I could buy it now, but I don't want to do that. Not on a Friday, not with it already being red across the board. So if we look at the daily chart over here on GBIO, had a nice little gap from the 3 up to the 421s, went up here to the 519s, and now it's starting to hold. But I wanted to see a little bit of a test to 450 though. If we can get that, that would be pretty nice. And just look for it to hold out of this previous gap, which is the $4 level. So now we can see, let's see, drama, you're crashing yet? I think drama is going to try to catch up to Tesla, but it's not going to be able to. Competition is fierce out here on a Friday. Anyway, are you guys looking at anything to be holding over the weekend? Or, you know, I'm hoping y'all aren't holding banking stocks over the weekend, but anything else that caught your eye in the past couple of weeks that you've been looking at, or any sectors or anything like that? You know, that's some of the stuff that we talk about in the Discord as well. Me, Rooster, and Donnell, we're always talking about, you know, how the markets are moving, what we're looking at, you know, that kind of thing in the Discord. Which, speaking of the Discord, go ahead and pump this over here. It looks like Rooster's been in the Discord already. I didn't have it open. He's been looking at YUMC. What was he talking about? ETNB short. Let me look at ETNB. That was one that we were watching yesterday. I told him that 17 was going to be a short, and he just didn't believe me. But when it rains, like I said yesterday morning on the 17, it pours. Let me go and get that link though. Invite people. Okay, so there's the link to the Discord. If you want to be a part of the Discord, we continue the conversations after the stream goes off, and I mean, we do a lot more talking over there than I can do here. And then there's different traders in there that have different experiences with these tickers, with the market, and have their own particular trading style. Rooster, our Rooster that's in there, he has his own YouTube channel as well, where he likes to do portfolio building. He likes to, you know, buy all kinds of stocks to build different types of portfolios. Yeah, ETNB. I told Rooster, man, I hope he didn't buy that. I hope he didn't buy that. Because if he did, oh boy, I'm definitely going to rub it in too. Like, yo, did you see the rain? All right, BAC. AT Activision coming on down back to the 85s as well. SI jumping back up there. What is SI trying to do, Lori? What is SI trying to do? Went down here to the 110s. What? Up 43% today. Did some news drop on this thing or something? What in the world is going on? No reasoning. Another no reasoning stock movement. 10 million shares traded on it. But yeah, it's probably weak. It moved from what? 50-cent move? That is a big move though. No lie. Now DRMA is going to have to compete with SI coming up the board. But we'll see. We'll see if we'll see if SI can really be strong. Somebody just messaged me. Okay. Get over there. I'm trying to. Yeah, ETN be eating dirt today. Nice and red. Oh boy. What? So I need to set up an appointment. My goodness, man. SI is freaking going crazy. No reasoning. So first, gotta remember my rules. Don't fall into FOMO. This is not a leading anything on the day. I mean, of course, it gapped up a little bit, but when it comes to having a purpose or a catalyst behind it, it's kind of like whatever. Let me actually check the watch list and see what Mara is doing. Those other crypto sentiment movers. Because while Mara and Riot and all of those were ripping, SI was going down to the sewers. And now Mara and whatever isn't doing anything. Now SI gets some action. But I think I'm gonna let SI play by itself. During intraday, it moved 1 40 cent move and then 128 up to the 170. So a 50 cent, 40 cent, and then a 50 cent move. That thing, ugh. That's very, very. I just think I'm gonna sit on my hands. Bidding, whoa, contracts, what? Oh, I need to get, yeah, I need to send him. Get a chance. We need to set up a new document there. Sent to. We need two of them. Sent to there and to marketing. Yeah. I need to copy that. Okay. Anyway, SI. DRMA. See, it's gonna be playing around VWAP all day. And then SI is a great looking short on the day as well. This thing has no obvious place to no obvious supports that it's bouncing on here. Went down to $1.09 and somebody got really interested on that dollar hold. FRC up to the 1240s. Okay. All right, so I pretty much seen what I'm gonna see. I'm gonna go and make some money doing something, something legal. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, though. I'm gonna continue watching those bank stocks that I'm looking at. Bank of America, whatchamacallit, Schwab. Would love to see Schwab break down 50. Ooh, and then Square close to 50. Bank of America is already under 50. But, you know, man, all of them look great to me. But anyway, if you're going to continue trading today, be careful. Know that this is definitely a Friday. We're seeing plenty of sellout, plenty of choppy movements, or freaky moves that have no reason to do anything coming up through the ranks. So just be careful. Did I even take a trade this week? I took one trade. It was small green, I think Monday or Tuesday. And that was it. So no huge trades on this week. Nothing crazy. But also there was nothing really in the low floats happening this week. A lot of banking stuff. So we'll see what happens next week. Next week with the interest rates, if they start to try to figure something out. But as we saw, I don't know if y'all saw the meeting on Wednesday, just a lot of uncertainty, in leadership. They don't know. So how in the world will we know, right? They're the ones looking at the numbers, looking over all the graphs and stuff, and they don't know what to do. I would just say be careful. Definitely prepare yourself, save something, have something put to the side or something for emergencies. And as always, that is it for me. I will see you guys on Monday morning, and we'll see what the market's bringing. Anything else? We're still working on the Dow. Still working on the Dow project as well. We got so much stuff built now, and waiting for a continuation on that project. I think that's it. Once I get these dividend stocks, and just see what the rest of the year brings. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.